all, I'm EyeofSol. I have only one rule here. If it's animated, I'll comment on it. Well, April Fool's has come and gone. Yeah, sorry, I'm pretty damn late here. You know, when it becomes April Fool's, I like to watch cartoons that make me laugh, like a big dumb fool in April. I wanted to try out something new though, since I'm kinda sick of all the cartoons I've seen before. So I decided to take some recommendations. Most of the cartoons that I watched based on people's recommendations, my reactions ranged from meh to why is life so terrible? All of those so-called funny cartoons that I watched gave me nothing, not even a single chuckle. Am I really so cynical that I can't even crack a smile anymore? Was my search all in vain? Then I decided to maybe watch something serious and highly acclaimed, something that I would find inadvertently funny in the process. Well now, that's when I decided to check out an anime series that people have been braying at me to check out for some time, called Furi Kuri, or Fooly Cooly in the English version. People were saying it was sad, it was deep, it was beautiful, it was something no anime fan should ever go their lives without seeing. So I decided to give it a try, and well, this is the only way I can sum up my impression. So, let me just get the backstory out of the way here as quick as I can. Furi Kuri was an OVA anime series created by Gainax of Neon Genesis Evangelion fame, and Production IG, one of my favorite anime companies of all time, next to Bones and Shaft. It's a series that consists of 6 25-minute episodes, and it aired originally in April 2000, ran till March 2001, and then an English dub was made by SyncPoint, and then later it was re-released by Funimation in 2010. It's a lot of shit to remember. Now, the fan reaction to this series is all over the place. Some people adore it, some people despise it, some people are fairly indifferent to it. How the hell can I comment on a series that has no particular enjoyment level? Well, I'll definitely give it a try.
Furi Kuri!
The plot of this series is... hell, I don't fucking know. After watching this series twice over, I still had to go and research the plot on the internet because I honestly can't understand it. From what I can gather, the series follows a 12-year-old boy named Naoto Nandaba who has a weird relationship with his brother's 17-year-old girlfriend Mamimi Samijima. Naoto is hit by a woman riding a yellow Vespa, and she smacks him on the head with her guitar, causing some kind of portal, called an NO portal, to form inside his head, allowing robots built by a manufacturing company known as Medical Mechanica to emerge from within. The woman who hit Naoto calls herself Haruko Haruhara, and she moves in with Naoto's family while acting as their housekeeper. You got all that? Hell, I goddamn didn't at the start. When you separate the plot from the actual series, it sounds weird, but simple. But this series is anything but simple. The plot is like if you took Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, then shoved its face in a pile of cocaine, gave it a shot of mescaline and Red Bull to the eyeballs, and then took it to a rave. The frenetic and incomprehensible pace and tone of this series is probably one of the strangest I've ever seen before, and honestly, I'm not sure what to think.
Furi Kuri!
Seriously, you want me to describe these characters? That'd be like describing a piece of experimental modern art, or an explosion at a fireworks factory. Some people will see deepness and fascination, while others will see insanity and nonsense. The protagonist Naota is a somewhat rebellious boy who has an odd relationship with the world around him. He seems rather jaded and cynical for a boy his age, and considers himself more mature than the people around him, especially his father and grandpa. I really like Naota's design, with his big, expressive blue eyes, but beyond that, there's nothing particularly interesting about him.
I mean, robots come out of this kid's head, and I still can't give a shit about him.
Naota is also in a weird relationship with his older brother's ex-girlfriend Mamimi, who is also an odd specimen. Mamimi is a distant, vague girl who smokes a lot and constantly ditches school. She maintains a semi-sexual relationship with Naota, despite the fact that she's quite a bit older than he is. Mamimi is also something of a pyromaniac and has a pretty bad grip on reality. Mamimi is actually fairly interesting, considering that the focus of the show is not on her, really. I kinda wish she had more screen time, but in the latter half of the series, she kinda just disappears. I mean, she's there and everything, but she kinda gets overshadowed by a certain someone. And that someone is Haruko. Haruko is an incredibly weird, random, zany, off-the-wall character who has an enigmatic goal that involves Naota and his NO portal. Haruka claims that she's an alien and part of something called the Galactic Space Patrol Brotherhood. Haruko constantly switches from crazy and surreal to devious and scheming to quiet and solemn to loving and sweet and just, oh my god, she is just all over the place. I personally find Haruko very irritating because she never seems to shut the hell up. That's probably because I'm missing something in her character. Her goal doesn't make her more sympathetic, and her treatment of those around her makes her an awful person. Though, like I said, I'm fairly certain I'm missing something with her character that's supposed to make her more interesting, but I'm honestly just not seeing it. Oh yeah, there's other characters too, like this guy with seaweed eyebrows named Commander Amurao, a silent robot people call Kanti, Lieutenant Kitsurobami, and a bunch of Naoto's schoolmates, but honestly, with the exception of Kanti, none of them are very interesting. They're loud, obnoxious, weird, and I honestly can't even remember half of them. But these characters and their appeal are really completely up to personal opinion. Just like looking at a piece of art, everyone will see them differently and have their own interpretation of them, but my interpretation is that they are grating and annoying.
Okay, well, now that the hors d'oeuvres of insanity are gone from our plates, let's get ready for the entrees of lunacy, and holy fuck am I hungry. Sorry, actually, we'll just move on to the good things in this series.
Furi Kuri!
So, considering all the praise and all the hate that this series gets, I find it really difficult to pin down exactly what makes this series good. I could definitely tell you what makes it good in my eyes, though.
The best thing about this series by far is the design. I feel like every design choice was picked very carefully, even though it looks haphazard and lazy in some parts. The characters look great, the backgrounds are simple, but they serve the overall tone very well, and when the series actually slows down for a minute, there are some genuinely incredible visuals, even today. Not all of them make sense, but they are fun to look at. Plus, this series is just so fucking weird. While this could be considered bad by some, and I can certainly understand why, it has this undeniable charisma and identity to it that makes it extremely difficult to forget. It's a lot like riding on a roller coaster, really. You don't need to know why the creators chose those particular twists, bends, drops, and rises in the track, you just need to have fun and enjoy the ride. The director of the series, Kazuya Tsurumaki, is quoted in saying that comprehension should not be an important factor in Fooly Cooly. Once you get that out of the way, it becomes much more enjoyable. If you're unable to get past how weird it is, and if you're looking for something with more meat on it, then you are not looking in the right place. It's an experience more than a cohesive story, so put down your magnifying glass and just have a good time.
Well, the bad stuff in this series definitely does deserve mentioning along with the good stuff, because unfortunately there is quite a bit of it in here.
Now then, the biggest flaw overall is that it is extremely difficult to give a shit about what is going on. Well, obviously, due to the fact that the plot is vague, but I don't mean this in a plot sense, I mean with the characters. Due to the short length of the series and the completely ludicrous nature of it, there's literally no time for character development. Pretty much everyone stays the same throughout the runtime, and because there's no real time to slow down and appreciate their characters, most of them feel like they're just being dragged along through the ride as opposed to being the driving force behind the events. In addition, just what in the holy mother of fuck is going on with it anyway? It completely defies genre. And no, my incomprehension of the series is not due to my inability to understand Japanese humor, because I've watched many comedy anime with even more references to Japanese culture and understood them fairly well. I obviously don't understand every joke, but at least in the Japanese version, I feel like much of the humor just falls flat on its face. I think I laughed genuinely at 1 or 2 moments, other than just laughing at the complete absurdity of what I was witnessing. but sense of humor is so hard to critique because nobody's will ever be exactly the same. Never in my life have I seen a series that could grab me and then lose me so many times as this one did. You like the designs? Great! But oh, the characters are weak. Like the music? Fantastic! Oh, but the plot is absurd. Like the backgrounds? Whoopity fucking do, because the ending is unsatisfying. Like I said before, it's a roller coaster ride, with its fair share of rises and falls. But a lot more falls than rises, unfortunately.
Now, normally, for a series review, I talk about my least favorite and my favorite episode from that series, but for this one in particular, I think I'm gonna omit it. Why? Because I fucking said so, that's why. No, but seriously, I can't say I don't have a least favorite and a favorite. This whole series just blends together in a mess of noise and just stuff going on that I literally have no least or favorite episode. So for this time, there's not gonna be one. Because I fucking said so. Seriously, what the hell can I even say about this series? I have no idea what I just watched. It's so all over the place that my review is all over the place. I can't decide whether or not I like it or not, whether it was worth the time sitting my ass down and watching it. There are many, many parts that I found just so grating and annoying, but then there were also parts that were really nice and pretty. I don't have an opinion on this. I can't say. I don't even know what to say here. If you really want me to, it defies genre. It also defies rating, too. But, guess I'm gonna have to buckle down and give it one. So, here it is. I give Furi Kuri 2 eyes out of 5, which means it has some good parts, but overall it's just so weird that I honestly can't enjoy it. So, Furi Kuri, is it watchable? I can't even say. Some people will find it watchable and some can't. It's just not for everyone. So, sort of, I guess? Is it enjoyable? Again, maybe for some people, maybe for not some people. So, again, sort of, I guess. Is it memorable? Well, it's so goddamn weird that I really just don't think I'm gonna be able to get it out of my head.
That's funny. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching EyeofSol. If you want to see more of my videos, which, yeah, I upload a new video every single Friday, you can click those annotations in the video, or hit subscribe to follow my channel, or do a like or share, or, literally anything helps me. Even just a comment is enough to show that you care about my channel. If you want to check them out, give them a click. As always, if you have an idea for an animated series or movie you want me to comment on, you can leave me a message in the comments, you can PM me, you can send one to my Twitter page, you can send me a fucking letter in a bottle, I don't care, just let me know what you want to see, and I will consider it. I will consider every single suggestion I get, so don't be afraid to drop me a line, tell me what you want, 'cause I will do what you want. I swear.